This is a video to prepare you for our Power of Persuasion ISN test for English 8. On page 82, you should have a cover page titled Unit 4, Power of Persuasion, Claim, Evidence, and Reasoning, and our 3 common goals for the unit. On page 83 should be your table of contents, and on page 84 should be our claim, evidence, and reasoning, using and defining those terms and going through the example where we solved the mystery. Page 85 was a warm-up where we analyzed use of evidence. Again, this is a picture of the slide. Yours will be handwritten. Page 86 is where we practice identifying an author's claim, their evidence, and then connecting it to reasoning. These are from the TED Talk videos that we watched. Page 87 is the symbols we use for close reading. And on page 88, we have the directions and our notes on how to perform a close read. On page 89, here we are practicing the close reading and marking of the text strategies for the article Fully Self-Driving Cars. Again, we've numbered the paragraphs, underlined the claim, circled key terms, and dotted for evidence. Also using our symbols in the margins and summarizing on the left and asking questions on the right. On page 90 is where we use text experts to look at claim, evidence, and reasoning, so this whole thing should be filled out. On page 91 should be also the article, The Trouble with Television, the article we used where we identified the claim and found the evidence. Again, this should be completely marked up using our close reading strategies and our marking of the text avid strategy. Page 92 is our verbs, our charting verbs for analyzing nonfiction documents. We have high frequency and charting verbs, and that notes are on page 92. On page 93 was a warm-up where we matched the claim to the evidence, and we talked about the importance of making sure the evidence we provide actually matches the claim. Yours will be handwritten. This is a printout of the slide that day. On page 94 is the teenage social media butterflies. May not be such a bad idea. Again, marking of the text, close reading strategies for information or nonfiction piece, and analyzing the author's claim. Page 95 is a warm-up looking at multiple citation types, and then also a graphic organizer we wrote to start thinking about how to connect evidence to our reasoning, and then finding a direct quote sometimes or a statistic perhaps. Page 96 is our actual data collected from students in all 5 of my classes. This is a technology data survey, and we compiled it to use as evidence in our surveys. On page 97 is identifying rhetorical strategies, logos, pathos, and ethos, and identifying rhetorical devices used in persuasion. Page 98 is a persuasive strategy definition with our examples, and again, that's on 98. On 99, there is persuasive techniques in commercials, where we watched commercials and identified the persuasive components. On page 100 is persuasive techniques in advertising, where we looked at the different types of pathos, logos, and ethos, and then identified them as well as looking at other terms. On page 101 looks like was our Chrome notes that we took on the Chromebooks. Page 102 was a place where we put our rough draft of our outline for our speech. And 103, some of you might have evidence notes from your persuasive speech. And then we will be writing our CEE paragraph to match the article that's on page 104 in your Avid Weekly, Driven to Distraction, Our Wired Generation. So this concludes our ISN components for this ISN test. If you're missing any of these, please make sure you view School Loop and you download any of them from either the calendar or the School Loop locker. Everything should be complete. There's also a link to the warm-ups. Please also make sure your cover is completely decorated and make sure your first name and last name is still intact, as you will be turning in these notebooks at the end of the semester. Good luck, and come see me if you need help.